You're 14, and the steppe wind cuts through your coat like it has forgotten that you exist. 3 days ago, you were carrying water from the river near your village. Now your wrists are raw and the rope burns with every step. The riders move fast. They don't look back. Around you, 8 others stumble forward in a loose line. A woman with a split lip, 2 boys younger than you, and an old man who stopped crying by the second night. You don't know their language. You don't know where they're taking you. The horses move at a pace that forces you to jog. And when you slow, the rope jerks hard enough to pull you to your knees. The grass stretches in every direction. No walls, no roads, nothing to run toward even if you could run. You're brought into a camp before nightfall. Felt tents spread across the ground like a low-gray city. Smoke rising from their tops. Dogs barking as you pass. Children stop and stare. Women speak quickly to each other, pointing. A man with a shaved head and a thick coat walks down the line and looks at each of you the way your father used to look at livestock before the autumn slaughter. He presses your arms, checks your teeth. You stare at the ground. He says something short and flat to the rider holding your rope. The rider nods. The man moves on without looking at your face again. That night, you sleep on the ground inside a smaller tent with the other captives. There's a bowl of cold broth passed around. You drink because you haven't eaten since the morning before. The old man prays in his language, low and steady. You don't understand the words, but you know what they are. You press your back against the felt wall and feel the cold coming through it. You think of your mother. You think of the sound her voice makes when she calls your name. Then you stop thinking of her, because it makes your chest close up and you need to breathe. In the following weeks, you learn the hierarchy of the camp through observation and small punishments. The riders are highest, untouchable, fierce, and moving through the camp with the confidence of men who have never lost a fight. Below them are the household workers and craftspeople, people born to this life, who view the captives with a mixture of indifference and contempt. Below you are the animals. You understand quickly that showing weakness invites cruelty. The other captives begin to separate in your mind. The woman becomes someone to avoid. The 2 boys become invisible. The old man becomes a cautionary tale about what resignation looks like. You survive by making yourself smaller, less noticeable, less worthy of attention. You're 15 and you belong to a household now. The woman who owns you is neither cruel nor kind. She's practical. Her name sounds like something caught in the throat. She has 3 children, a husband who's often away raiding, and more work that her hands can manage. Your days begin before the sun is visible. You milk the mares in the cold dark. You gather dry dung for the fire. You haul water, skin animals, stretch hides across wooden frames until the muscles in your back burn with a deep, constant ache. The work is endless and wordless, and when you make a mistake, she strikes your shoulder with an open hand and points to what you've done wrong. You learn faster than you expect to. Hunger is a good teacher. The language comes slowly. First, the commands. Then, the names of objects. Then, short sentences that let you ask where something is or say that a task is done. The woman's youngest child, a girl of about 6, finds you fascinating. She follows you around the camp and corrects your words without cruelty, only with the confident certainty of a child who has never doubted herself. She teaches you the word for sky, for rope, for horse, for hungry. You repeat them back to her. Then she claps when you get them right. It is the only lightness in your days. You're 16 and you've begun to understand the shape of your life here. There are others like you, captives from different lands, different wars, different unlucky mornings. A man from somewhere far south who speaks with his hands more than his mouth. A woman who was a merchant's wife before the raid who carries herself as though she still is. She tells you in broken words one evening that the Mongols keep useful people, that if you work without resistance and show skill, you survive. She says it without bitterness, just information, like telling you which berries are safe to eat. The camp moves. This is something you weren't prepared for. Everything folds and rolls and loads onto carts, and the whole city shifts across the steppe like a slow tide. You carry, you pack, you follow. The new ground looks the same as the old ground. The sky is enormous here, bigger than any sky you've seen before, pressing down on the flat world from every angle. At night, the stars are so many and so close that they feel dangerous, like a ceiling about to fall. You begin to understand that motion is part of the structure here, that nothing in this life will ever feel permanent or rooted, that the only constant is the work and the expectations placed on your hands and back. You're 17 and your owner's husband returns from a campaign with new captives and silver and a long scar across his jaw. He looks at you once and speaks to his wife. She answers, he nods. You don't know what was said, but nothing changes, so you assume it wasn't about selling you. The new captives are put to work immediately. One of them, a boy about your age, cries for the first 3 days without stopping.